Yeah, come on!
Welcome to the Yeah Come On Show with Southside Steve.
Yeah, come on. And let me tell you what, man. I battled this morning the ingrown hair and the goatee, and I won. Of course, I'm now bleeding and have a sore, and it'll scab up, and I'll look weird for a week, but I won. Tweezer, I'm like, God, and you're clean cutty. You don't really grow the facial hair.
No. I wore the goatee in the 90s.
What are you saying?
I'm not saying anything. That's
Sounds like you're saying something.
Kind of your look, but I don't rock the goatee anymore. I like it because it covers my double chin.
Okay.
So when I do have a goatee, that's why I liked it, because it covered my double chin.
What, do you let the hair hang down?
No, just a little shadow there covers the
double
chin. Yeah.
For me, I would prefer, I think, not to have it. My wife thinks I look stupid without it, and I'm like, okay.
Well, that's because you're so used to it, right?
I'm like, let's just shave it off, because I would rather just shave it off. I don't mind the ponytail, but I really don't need the goatee. I don't, and it's the one thing that if I'm coloring my hair, it shows, okay, I'm coloring my hair, because my goatee is gray.
Yeah.
Jeez, it's a problem. But for some people, I've never done the thick one, and I've never done Fu Manchu, and I've never done the one. I mean, there's other designs I see on other people.
The soul patch. I tried a soul patch for a while.
How did that work?
It doesn't come in thick enough here.
Okay.
You got to have thick hair if you want to do that.
I've seen my brother do it. I've got other friends that do it. Some friends have long hair that do it. Long hair guy can get away with a Fu Manchu.
It's very Nikki Sixx.
Yeah.
To have like a
little soul patch. Well, that's just the hair. That's what we dealt with today's show. We will get into sports in a fun way, because we're going to do a tease for what we will do tomorrow with our sports guys. So you don't want to miss this, because I have opinions. And then when it comes to Steve MZ, I've brought in, I think, a pretty damn good subject.
Okay.
So just letting you know.
And then we had the election yesterday for Politictainment.
And I voted yesterday, so I have opinions there. So we're going to cover things. Right now, it is your 4-hour Atlanta radio show done in 30 minutes. Southside Steve, Jeff Cole bring you the Yeah Come On show from the Exit Wealth Studios, with studios in Alpharetta and Buckhead. I love the sponsorship, and also I love the sponsorship of their Exit Stage Left Advisors. I said it as slow as I could, because I think right now is the time to call. These guys do more out of state than in state. We're trying to get in state. So look, if you just want to know what your business is worth, now's the time to jump into my DMs. I'll put you in touch with the right person. Everybody signs an NDA, and you just see what it's worth. Is selling right now right for you? Or do you have stipulations? Because, Johnny here's worked for me for 20 years, and I don't want to cut him. All right, well, then Johnny's a part of the deal. Every deal's different. Now we get into a lovely show open, and this one lands in your backyard.
Yeah, literally. I just saw this when you sent it to me this morning. There was a school lockdown in Sandy Springs.
It's pretty crazy.
Because it was a polling place, so people think it might be some kind of election interference.
Possibly, and this is why when I was a kid, the polling place was at our elementary school. Like, we would be in the cafeteria, and you'd see adults coming in to vote. I'm wondering now, with the country as crazy as it is, do we need to move it off of campuses?
Well, I thought that they were doing it where schools will be closed that day, or there wouldn't be classes. I think it is for regular election day, regular Tuesday. I think the schools aren't open, but I remember, adults will be there on Tuesday, because now kids get every other day off school for some dumb reason. I'm surprised they were open yesterday, but they had a school in Sandy Springs. Ison, I think it's called Ison Elementary. It must be a newer school, because it wasn't around when I was there.
Do you have the news story ready to go?
I do.
And before we run it, I just want to say that, I've got different opinions on this too, but I'm pretty blown away at the response. Check out the news story if you missed it yesterday.
From WSB.
Now with breaking news, a live look from News Chopper 2 in Sandy Springs, where Ison Springs Elementary is on a soft lockdown due to police activity, and this school also serves as a polling location. Channel 2's Barron Peterson is live on the scene. Barron, what have you learned?
Well, there's a lot to unpack here, but we're along Morgan Falls Road in Sandy Springs. I'm going to show you that this road has been shut down now for more than 3 hours. So Morgan Falls Road dead ends into Morgan Falls Overlook Park and the Chattahoochee River. So police say a suspicious person dressed in military gear was spotted in the park before noon, got into an argument with another person, then disappeared into the woods. Now, a 911 caller then heard possible gunshots. I want to show you what we just shot within the last 10 minutes. And that is a convoy, the SWAT team rolling in. And we saw officers from not only Sandy Springs, but Alpharetta, Johns Creek, Milton, Cobb County Police, might be more. They staged at Sandy Springs Police Headquarters, which is not even a mile from here. It's on Morgan Falls Road. They staged there. They suited up, got into those trucks, and rolled into the park. Now,
look at that.
There you go. Yeah, that's incredible.
I mean, they hopped too.
Yeah.
So they didn't. I don't think they got the guy.
No,
as far as we know yet.
They didn't, but they knew where he was, where he entered the woods. It would be difficult to cross the river. Like there wasn't really, so they knew they're like, okay, he's got to be on this side of the property unless he swam it. So we got a good chance of catching him.
Yeah. So this area where he is was my old stomping grounds. So if I could do like a little,
those are the woods that you read Playboys and smoked pot in.
I did smoke pot there. So this is if I could do like a South Side thing, and when something comes up on the South Side, you have very specific stories. This Morgan Falls Park is where I played Little League in the 80s. And where the road ends there, it dead ends into the Chattahoochee River. There's a dam there. And then you could go walk around trails. This is before it was a park. But we'd just kind of park and hop the fence and go hike by the river and smoke pot in high school. That was a very known pot destination right there along the river. So I guess now it's built up. Now there's apartments back there. There's a big park. And then I guess there's an elementary school. I didn't even know that was there now.
Wow.
But that was definitely my old stomping grounds in the 80s and 90s.
I wonder why you responded, because it's a lot of times, Jeff and I work hard at content, and I'm like, this is a possibility. And you're like, oh, no. We're doing this for show open. And I'm glad, because I don't know
It'd be like if it happened at Old National Highway.
Right.
You would be like, okay, let me tell you about Old National Highway.
That's great. I'm glad I now know the area. But what impressed me is when you see somebody in military garb, you're thinking the worst. Just like when you see somebody dressed all in black, you're thinking the worst. And the fact that a kid saw that, said they went in the woods, they responded, and then you hear Johns Creek, Milton. Everybody came to Sandy Springs' aid to help. Instead of putting them on the spot with maybe, 6-8 guys on the ground, you had 25, 30 guys that are trained for this type of stuff.
Well, I guess because it was a primary election day, I guess all the police departments in the whole city were sort of
on
ready
call
to go.
Yeah, well, I just thought it was impressive news. And, when you've got a kid at a school, that's what you want to see. Yep. That's exactly what you want to see. If somebody's crazy or running around or doing stupid stuff, you want to get them before they do it. It's time for a little bit of Steve MZ, and we are making our plans for next week, because this is a busy week for us, to get out to Small Sliders. And Small Sliders is right there in Marietta off Windy Hill. And it's funny because you're a connoisseur of burgers, so am I. Jeff and I were there for the grand opening. They've been open just over a month. We just had National Slider Day, and Rocky Moore, who I'm in touch with, along with Peak Day, Park Day. Boy, he's going to laugh. I always get his name wrong. Sorry, Park. But yeah, the two owners that I'm very close to, man, these guys, the only reason they did this is because the burgers are so good, and they're made fresh daily, and they're a great sponsor for Steve MZ. I think TMZ in California has, Jack in the Box or whatever theirs is. We have Smalls.
Wait, the big one there is In-N-Out Burger.
Well, they got
That's
that.
The one,
They got that. Well, guess what? Steve MZ in the South is rolling out with some small sliders. But I love when people leave messages. I've had it. Overrated. I'm like,
it's not overrated. No,
I'm like, you are so wrong.
Yeah.
I have no choice but to delete that comment because it's not factual. Because I may not know a lot about a lot of foods, around the world, but I damn sure know burgers, and I know a good one from a bad one. And these are the best sliders I've ever had. Enough said. We get in to Steve MZ. That's about rock and roll.
Steve MZ.
Is it about rock and roll, Jeff? When I talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
I mean, this is a major debate on what's rock and roll, what's not. It all started when they inducted Madonna a long time ago, and it's like, well, wait a minute, or they inducted like Run DMC or some hip hop artist, and it was like, well, this is not rock and roll. What are y'all doing?
but Run DMC had the credit at the time because they did what we had never seen. They hooked up with Aerosmith, did a song, and they kind of brought themselves in. And those that don't remember, and we have played it as a track 13, Rock Box on Run DMC is nothing but lead guitar. And I always bought in that, damn it, Eddie Van Halen did that riff too.
Yeah, no, I don't know who played guitar on it, but it was an early hip hop video on MTV. I remember seeing the video when it came out.
Oh my God, you know I've never seen it?
Oh yeah, it's like black and white, and it was on like when it came out in 84, 85.
It was strong. So I think that they had some rockness to them. So was it right? I don't know. I wish it was just rock.
Yeah.
I really do. I think hip hop and I think pop have other locations that they could do. Why not be specific? But they were, and now we look at the recent bands that have come in and the bands coming in now. It looks to me like they're getting a little bit back to rock.
Yeah, well, it's still all over the board, and it came up because the Black Crowes are playing this weekend at Ameris Bank.
Yeah, if you don't have your tickets, you ought to get them, especially if you're a Crows fan. That band started right here in Atlanta, downtown, more in the Highlands, in that area is where these guys were kind of talking and forming, and man, they crushed it. And everybody knows the brothers didn't like each other. Maybe they do now. I went to high school with their now bass player, and he rode with me, and I played center field with him for the MD Collins soccer team, and his name's Finn Pippin, and he's still with the band. And, I think it's a good local act, but I've talked with everybody but the lead singer. We've never had him on. All the rest of them were friendly with rock. He always stuck more to the 99X crowd.
Chris Robinson.
Yeah. Chris was a little bit of a star. He married Goldie Hawn's daughter. Why not? But they're not in. They didn't get picked.
No, yeah, they were nominated this year, but they did not get in. So who did get in? Deservingly so, Phil Collins.
And we all know we're about to lose Phil.
Yeah.
He's in bad shape. And I hate it, man. I mean, that guy was so cool. He did have a way about his voice. He did not. If anybody didn't look like a rock star, he did not.
Yeah, that's true.
That guy didn't. He looked like he should paint your house.
Yeah. Billy Idol.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with that one. Billy was just the bad boy. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Billy Idol. And he had the bad motorcycle crash that put him on a cane for a while.
Iron Maiden.
Not my cup of tea, but boy, they deserve it.
Yeah, they've been very influential and obviously big in the metal world.
Was that big? I remember my brother's friend, so I'm going class of 85, 86. A lot of guys into Iron Maiden. More than, say, my class, the classes around me, 81, 82, 83. And they just really loved it. It was just too hard for me.
Yeah. I'm not that big of a Iron Maiden fan.
We agree they deserve it.
Yeah, for sure. And here's one for you. Your 80s new wave, Joy Division and New Order.
Yeah, New Order for sure. They had a moment, but even Joy Division, they're good, but they're not as big as some of the others that I think should be in.
Yeah. I know you don't like this band, but this is one of my favorite bands, definitely of the 90s. Oasis.
Yeah.
I
liked them. I liked some of their songs, just wasn't my thing. I think that, how you step outside of bad decades because you went to school during that time frame? I think for you, that's it. You love the 80s. Yeah. Hell, you like the 70s. You're an old soul. But in the 90s, you're like, you know what? Everybody's on board. I'll jump on board too.
Or
you just like the sound.
I just liked Oasis. A lot of other 90s I didn't. I wasn't really into grunge. I really wasn't into a lot of 90s stuff other than Oasis. And then we got a little R&B happening with Sade and Luther Vandross.
I don't know. Vandross. I don't know. What do you think? I don't hate. I think rock came from R&B.
I think the Black Crowes should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before these two. Let's just put that with
fair enough.
Not that they don't deserve it, but come on, the Black Crowes.
And I would take the Black Crowes before Joy Division as well.
Yeah,
I think there's a few exceptions. Black Crowes should have gotten in.
Yeah.
And of course, we bring it up only because they played. This is your inductees for 2026 on Steve MZ. Politictainment will be brought to you as always because boy are some people mental. Our opening talked about possibly a mental individual running around polling locations. My polling location boring as hell yesterday, but we'll get into it. David Markwell can help you with your issues. MarkwellTherapy.com. That's MarkwellTherapy.com. Tell him the Yeah Come On show sent you. He'll help you with all things stress.
Polydictainment.
So when you voted yesterday, was it crowded? I heard there were some lines at some locations. Did you have to wait, or
No.
was it pretty smooth?
Smooth. My location is, because I wasn't sure and I didn't look it up and I was close enough. I passed 2 polling locations that would have been more convenient for me, and I saw lines there. Mine is at a church, and it's just right off near the ballpark where my kids play. It's closer to me when I'm at home. But I hated driving here from the studio and I'm passing the library. I could vote there. Or I'm passing this school. I could vote there. And I just thought that you have to go to your one polling location.
So did I. I thought you had an assigned location.
And that's why I went there. But, man, I'm not sure whether I was right or wrong. I still don't know. But I went to my location. I stood in line. It was different voting yesterday. They asked me immediately, are you Republican or are you Democrat?
Because you get a different ballot.
I totally had a different ballot.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm Republican. She goes, it's going to be a long one. You need to stick around. She showed me how to do it. It's going to print, and then it's going to print on both sides. You're going to have to hand it and go get it scanned. So I went through, and it was a long one. And the incumbent, there was no one running against him, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But for the Republicans, I picked my choice for, which I feel strongly about, governor and lieutenant governor.
Yeah, so there's going to be a runoff. The governor's race was 50-50. So you got Burt Jones and Rick Jackson. I believe you voted for Rick Jackson.
I did.
Okay.
I did. But Donald Trump is endorsing Jones.
Yeah. And but so it was 50-50. So they're going to have a runoff June 16th. And you'll have to vote for that, too.
I have to vote again.
So if Trump keeps endorsing him, I would imagine that'll push Burt Jones over the finish line, because the other race that I was watching nationally is Representative Thomas Massey in Kentucky.
I was going to tell you, Kentucky was huge because that guy has definitely been outspoken against Trump.
Correct.
He is outspoken. I know for a fact he brings up the Iraq war. He's against the war.
Correct.
I know that. I've seen it. And there's another policy he was against with Trump strongly.
I think also wanting to release the Epstein files.
It was the Epstein files.
Very much in line with Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was like, hey, Trump, we're supporting you, but you said no wars. You said you would release the Epstein files. You haven't done any of it. So Thomas Massey, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, spoke against it. This is why Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't want to run, because Trump would back her opponents in the primary. Boom, she's out. And that's exactly what happened to Thomas Massey. Whoever the guy running against him in the Republican Party got Trump's endorsement, so Thomas Massey is out.
Yeah, and they
Trump
didn't think he had a choice in a supplemental. They thought that Trump was hanging his hat on somebody he shouldn't, that the incumbent would pull it off, but not so. So it looks like, and I never know if it's true, they say that Trump's popularity is down because of the war and maybe because of the price of gas or what have you. But they say that he's down, but this was huge for him.
Yeah.
In every Republican area, whoever he endorsed got it.
Yeah. I mean, so the politicians are definitely supporting Trump. But yeah, I think a lot of people on the street are kind of getting a little questioning, like, this is not America first, these things that are going on. I have this theory, not theory, but a hopeful desire that all of this fraction with the Republican Party, with the Trump and then the people like Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, maybe there could be a third party. So we have Democrats, we have MAGA, and we have regular Republicans. Maybe by 2028, there will be some sort of third party that the Republican Party can actually split.
You need 4 because, you look at MAGA and people say that's hardcore or those are Trumpers or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you've got regular Republicans. The Democrats have a bigger problem. You got Kennedy Democrats that are upset at AOC Democrats. So it's almost like you got to have a fourth, because they got to have their crazy ass. What do you call the crazy ass Dems that everybody wants to call MAGA?
Okay, but there's like the Mondani and the AOCs, those Democrats.
What category are they?
They want to be socialists and communists. Social Democrats.
The social or commies. The commie-crats. The commie-crats.
The commie-crats. Well, hey, 4 would be great. Let's just try to get 3. I'll just go for 3, and that would be a big step for the country to have a third party.
Yeah, I hope that the Republicans are not that split on MAGA. My take is that the war. I don't want anybody at war. I don't want anybody losing life, and I don't care about using the bombs so we can make more. I'm against that kind of crap, but I do know I don't like the society over there, and they're bad people. So did we have to do it?
Well, why don't we just let them deal with their own stuff and let's just get out and not mess with their affairs? How about that? Let's let Israel fight their own war. Let's let Israel fight their own war. Let them battle it out, and we'll just you either sell us your oil or you don't.
Well,
why do we have to be up their business?
And that's a great point, and we'll leave it with that. It's how you disagree. That's how we do it. Right now with sports coming your way, it is brought to you by North Atlanta Golf Carts. I will talk about them because we're going to run a different kind of commercial for sports because we have 2 sponsors. North Atlanta Golf Carts, Jeff and I could not believe this. And I got to get there this week or next. We were there when we did the Angel Flight Golf Tournament at Echelon. We were right next to their newest location in Brazelton, where they have not had a grand opening. And I could not get there, but I've got a buddy that's looking at buying 4 golf carts from them because he has places, rental properties, and he wants a golf cart there. And that's the other thing. People that do rent properties, and I'm talking to a small fraction, man, when you got a golf cart, that shouldn't be part of the deal. Like, no, you want the golf cart. That's another $1,000.
Yeah. I heard you guys talking about it's like, so if you rent a property, you don't just get everything available. There's an upcharge if you want to use the golf cart and drive around the island or wherever the beach.
I've got 6 beach bikes. I'm going to let you take those, but you want the golf cart? Hold it. So it's a thing. It's convenient. A lot of neighborhoods have them. A lot of neighborhoods don't like them. It just depends. But man, if you're looking for the deal, you've got to throw them in the conversation. If you're talking to 3 locations that are looking at variety and types of golf carts, ask for Craig Riddle and ask for the Yeah Come On deal. I know for a fact it gets you $500 off a used golf cart. Welcome to Regal Nissan Service. This is Miguel. This is my service tech. I love him dearly. He takes care of my vehicles and has for years.
That's right.
So all they need to do is do what?
Just give us a ring and we'll get it taken care of.
And ask for?
Miguel.
This gentleman is off. Who sits here? Khalib. Then we come down here and he's actually talking on the phone. This is DeAndre. DeAndre had dreadlocks until last week. He cut them. He's clean cut. And he takes care of me whenever that guy's out. Your name?
What's going on? I'm Jack. My extension is 224. So if you need anything for service, give me a call.
224.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Jack, you look like an actor.
I do my thing.
And now I love a pretty girl service person. What's your name?
Bricia.
Bricia, how do we get a hold of you at Regal Nissan?
You can call to my extension, which is 2251.
2251, and y'all take people straight through the door, right?
Yes.
You just come right in without an appointment. It's better when you do. And here at the end,
How's it going? I'm Matt. I just started here. My extension is 2238 if you need.
all right, Matt's a new employee. Welcome to Regal Nissan. And here is the service manager of Regal Nissan. And Yeah, Come On Sports, Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's Skipper.
How y'all doing, guys?
Good, man. What's our Yeah, Come On deal again?
Our Yeah Come On deal till the end of this month is buy 3, get 1 for $1 on your tires.
That's a good deal on tires. What do you think you're going to talk about on sports? You don't know yet. Are you all into the Braves?
I mean, the Braves are on the streak right now, bro, so we got to talk about them. Taking out Philly in Philly, come on.
There it is. That's Skipper with sports on the Yeah, Come On show. Yeah, come on! I thought it was cool for people to see him.
Yeah, that was him in action.
Yeah, it's him in action. They were in the office.
Service manager.
And I didn't tell them. I showed up and walked in, and one person was off and another person in the bathroom that wanted me to reshoot it. And I'm like, it is what it is. I did it, you know. And the manager knew I was doing it of the dealership, so I thought it was fun. But yeah, Miguel's my guy. I've been with him forever. He's that first chair. He's solid. But then those reps, they're young, man, but they know what they're doing. And there's something to be said about that. And you can tell with the accents, they definitely are prepared to go bilingual in the service shop if they need to, which is great. That's the way you have to service people. But whether you have a Nissan or an Infiniti, come on in. Come on Sports. You just flashed up something that I want to go into briefly. I want to tease this for tomorrow's Sports with Skipper from Regal Nissan. The hell with the scores today. I want to talk just a minute about this and get in depth tomorrow.
Yeah, I was been watching a couple of Braves games just passively, and I see this promotion going on. It's called the Braves Jersey Crossover whatever merch.
I don't like the crossover term.
So here it is. So this basically it's Braves, numbers and everything, logos, but on other sports jerseys. So here's the Braves Hawks crossover. Braves with whoever's 13, and the Braves colors, but it's styled like an NBA jersey. Okay, and this is the concept. So they have it for the Falcons. There's like a Braves Falcons crossover, Braves Atlanta United crossover. So taking all the sports.
What, the Braves shirts will be on like jerseys, like football jerseys?
Yeah, but it'll be all Braves colors and information, but it's styled like a.
And we don't even have a hockey team. I mean, we've got the Gwinnett Gladiators.
There might be a hockey one with some other team. I don't know.
Maybe. And then of course you talked about we know the Braves are doing throwbacks and everything. Right now they're in the powder blue. I'm like, whatever.
I love a good throwback jersey.
Yeah.
They're overdoing it, I think.
It's too much. I agree. The best uniform, period, for the Atlanta Braves is I call it the Hank Aaron uniform because it's what he was wearing when he knocked the home run 7-15 and 74. I love those 73, 74, 72 Braves uniforms.
So the powder blue ones were like the away jerseys in the early 80s, right? I could see Dale Murphy in that.
Dale Murphy wore it for a while. They went with it. I remember Chris Chambliss on the team, Bob Horner. There's a few of the guys. Glenn Hubbard.
Okay.
They were all in the baby blue. And that is the one jersey I didn't like. I didn't like the baby blue. I love that dark blue with the red and that early 70s Braves.
Yeah.
Just like with the Falcons, man. I like the red helmet and I like the red jerseys.
I like the old Falcon.
Me too. Yeah. I don't like the new Falcon.
So when we talk to Skipper tomorrow, we'll get his opinion on this Braves crossover jersey promotion.
And who's behind it?
It seems like a money grab. They're just trying to sell more merch because they've already effed out the retro stuff.
Yeah.
So they got to come up with other ideas to sell swag.
Well, that will be covered tomorrow in sports. Right now, show close is with a guy. We've got to get out to his location. We want to just get pictures, show you what he offers. Everything from transportation to a good rap. And we're talking about Danny and Danny Jr. Hamilton, who runs Star Coaches and Rap Star USA. Star Coach has been in business for, 25, 30 years. And we've had Danny on. And let me tell you, those big buses like that, you can rent it for a NASCAR event. You can rent it for a golf trip. You can take it to the beach with your family. The driver can go and he stays. It's like a $500 fee a day for the driver if you're going to go somewhere, and basically the driver has to stay because he's going to get his own hotel room. He's going to take care of his own food. And that's pretty fair to have a bus at your disposal.
Yeah, and you can sleep. You can share it. You can split it with 7 or 8 people and be comfortable.
Oh, yeah. You can sleep on it. You can just rent one room for showering if you don't like the shower on a bus. I know some people are like, man, it's just too tight. Whatever. There's so many ways, and they know exactly how to do it on the cheap and have a good time, a safe time. And then Rapstar, they wrap everything. Now,
Track 13.
I got something fun.
Okay.
But it's bad.
Okay.
It's so bad it's good.
Okay. That's another kind of a subcategory of Track 13s. So obscure and so bad that it's good.
You just remember who started Track 13. We did 3 years ago. And it's because, as Jeff being a DJ for over 20 years on all of the stations in Atlanta, at least rock and country, me, rock, doing mornings, I didn't deal with as much music, but I did a year of DJing on 96 Rock, doing weekends and fill-in. And the cool thing about our station was, hey, you got to go by the music, but that last like 15 minutes, you can play request or pick something you want to hear, especially late at night.
You couldn't play anything.
Oh,
you
yes,
had
I
to
could,
play.
as long as it was in that studio.
Really?
Yeah, it was unbelievable freedom.
And that was the end of that area.
Yeah,
That area.
and I really had people calling, so I really tried to do theirs and throw it out to them. I'd write down their names, but occasionally I was selfish as hell.
Well, I remember taking requests. I mean, nowadays you can make a request, but the DJ's not going to play your request. But I was surprised when I was sitting at the river, just 7, 8 years ago, people would call and answer. It would be like, I want to request Sweet Home Alabama. Like they would request the same stuff we were already playing.
You're like, you know that played 2 hours ago, right? You just need to hear it now. No, requests are supposed to be that song that you're frustrated about on an album that radio doesn't play. Like it's not even a B cut, it's like a C cut. That's why we came up with the name Track 13.
But today you have an F cut or a Z cut. Like it's pretty down the list.
Well, way to set me up for failure. Am I set up for failure? Possibly. Here's what I did yesterday. I was going around and listening to music, and I just had some time on my hands. And I'm a big fan of the 80s like you, but I like the deep cuts. I came up with a song called Hairspray Heaven.
It sounds like they're either making fun of or embracing hair metal. I don't know.
A little bit. It is I'll give you a hint. See when you get it. It's a super group for obscure bands.
Okay.
In other words, we know what happens when you take members of Bad English. You got members of Journey. You got John Waite, and you bring in all these power guys together.
Or damn Yankees. You got Jack Blades from Night Ranger. You have Tommy Shaw from Styx, and of course Ted Nugent,
who was his own thing.
So that's a super group. But can you be a super group when you come from obscure bands to begin with?
That's the question.
I don't know if that's...
That's why when we play this song, you've never heard it. I'm going to say 99% of our audience has never heard it. But if you have, you're going to be like, holy crap, these guys are cool. And here's the good thing. Maybe you hear something you didn't know about, and we teach you. That's what Track 13 also is supposed to do. Give the song, that video, its just due that radio never did. So we've got UFO bass player Pete Way in the band.
Okay, now I've heard of you. I like a little bit of UFO.
You do?
Yeah, they're somewhat still pretty an obscure band.
Yeah, and this is Takedo. I've heard it. I think most of the DJs back in the day called it Takedo.
Did we do? I think we've done a Takedo Track 13.
Possibly. We did not play it on 96 Rock here in Atlanta, but it's TYKETTO. They grabbed their lead singer Danny Vaughn.
Okay, all right.
That's the superness of this, and they're a band, and they're called Waysted. I know, I never heard of them, but it's WAYSTED.
All right. Well, okay. This is our obscure super group.
It's almost like they took way and then STDs and put it all together. Wasted, spelled way.
Waysted is the super group on Track 13 today, and the name of the song is Hairspray Heaven.
Yeah.
There it is. And if you want to see these guys, the link is in the description on the Come On Show.